Louis Theroux into the manosphere. The documentary is now out, and unfortunately, it was as I feared, as predicted, pretty dishonestly edited. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of these men do not need a hand in making themselves look bad because they just don't come across as very good guys. Now, we have all seen the clips from HS of these moments. We have seen the editing that Louis Theroux has done, and it doesn't look great. You know, an entire interview with HS's mum, which says a lot about his past, about his childhood, about his upbringing, was cut completely from the show. And I'll tell you why it was cut, because it didn't suit Louis Theroux's narrative, which, as I've just said, he didn't need to push a narrative because a lot of these men show themselves for what they are. Unfortunately, Louis, you was dishonest. There's another moment where they show the footage of HS in the fight, the very famous fight that happened. They explain nothing. They didn't explain any reason for it leading up to the fight. They gave no backstory. It had nothing to do with the fight. He was just slagging off HS with the fight in the background. Again, it doesn't look good without context. But once you know the context, which Louis knows the context, it shows that he's not just some thug running around beating people up. There was also the very strange moment that Louis seemed to have a problem with Ed Matthews force-feeding a predator cat food. Just an odd thing to stand on, I found, Louis. Am I surprised from a man who has that much history with Jimmy Savile? Probably not. There was also the very, very strange moment that Louis mentioned a child predator coming to meet a child as an older man going on a date. Louis, we all know that man was there to meet what he believed to be a child. So I don't know why you was trying to paint him as some poor victim. I found that very strange. But look, as I said, it could have been an excellent documentary. For me, it just fell flat. It felt very disjointed. I think they did a good job in certain aspects because these men do just often make themselves look pretty silly. But I also think it's pretty foolish, and a lot of the middle-aged women on TikTok have fallen for it. It's pretty foolish not to understand that a lot of what they say is for clicks and views, and it's a bit of an act. But I just found it fell a bit flat, to be honest. It felt a bit agenda-y, pushing the agenda. A lot was cut out, and I just wasn't very impressed, to be honest.